لله نحمده ونشكره نستعين به جل وعلا نستهديه ونستغفره نعوذ به جل وعلا من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له إن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له صدق وعده ونصر عبده وأعز جنده وهزم الأحزاب وحده لا شيء قبله ولا شيء بعده وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا وعظيمنا وحبيبنا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم أدى الأمانة وبلغ الرسالة ونصح الأمة وكشف بإذن ربه الغمة وعبد الله ربه حتى أتاه اليقين. صل اللهم وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله في كل آن وحين وارض اللهم عن أصحابه وأزواجه وأتباعه وأحبابه أجمعين وعنا معهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. أما بعد، عباد الله اتقوا الله العظيم حق تقواه وراقبوه واعلموا أنه بكم بصير سبحانه وتعالى. أما بعد، يقول مولانا عز وجل في المحكم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: النبي أولى بالمؤمنين من أنفسهم وأزواجه أمهاتهم. Part portion of an ayah where المولى سبحانه وتعالى says النبي أولى بالمؤمنين من أنفسهم. يعني النبي, the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, أولى is a word that has many meanings. Closer to the believers and themselves من أنفسهم. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم is closer to the believers and themselves. أولى. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam has a higher claim on the believers than themselves. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is nearer to the believers than themselves. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is more worthy of the believers than themselves. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has a greater authority on the believers and themselves. All these things can come from the meaning of awla or mawla. The word mawla in the Arabic language could mean all these things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us here النبي أولى بالمؤمنين من أنفسهم وأزواجه أمهاتهم, and his wives are their mothers. طبعا Islam, just so we can go back a little bit before we go in there, Islam came to talk about a family. يعني طبعا Islam starts with the human family, where allegedly النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم والحاكم narrated the hadith and authenticated it, لكن Islam has issues, لكن it's صحيح with its meaning, where النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم said كلكم لآدم وآدم من تراب. All of you are from Adam, Adam is from clay. So that's restoring then the human family to you are all a human family. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. المعنى يؤكده القرآن. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا. Oh أيها الناس. القرآن الكريم here, this kitab is for all human beings. All human beings. Their Lord, their Creator is addressing them. يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم. We created you. So number one, you have a Creator. And we made you into males and females. And then we made you into جعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل. We made you into nations and tribes. Nations and tribes and all these things, so you do what? So one says that my asl of clay is better than your asl of clay? Or because I have this, I am better? All these things. No. Now the Quran Karim says, لِتَعَارَفُوا. We made you into all these things so you can get to know each other. So that you can get to know, let's say, at least. Made you into tribes and nations, and made you into males and females, so then you can get to know. Then Al-Quran Kareem puts the standard for who's better. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. The one who's most honorable amongst you to Allah is the one who has most taqwa, irrespective of male, female, tribe, or nation. And taqwa obviously means here not transgressing the limits. Not transgressing. So this puts everything in a plain field again to this human family that the Quran Kareem speaks of. And then, not only the human family the Quran Kareem speaks of, then there is another family of Iman. So there is now family of humanity and there's family of Iman, those people who have Iman. Now remember, humanity, whether admit or not, and whether humanity admits or not, it has a creator, and that creator is Allah. هو ربهم سبحانه وتعالى. Even if they disbelieve in Him, or they don't worship Him, or they even deny Him, He still gives. كُلًّا نُمِدُّ هَؤُلَاءِ وَهَؤُلَاءِ مِنْ عَطَاءِ رَبِّكَ. Allah says we shall grant those who believe, we shall grant those, the meaning of the ayah, those who don't believe, from the giving of your Lord. وَمَا كَانَ عَطَاءُ رَبِّكَ مَحْظُورًا. The giving of your Lord is not restricted. Well, He created you. He created you. That's why when we say Islam affirms the dignity to every human being, in what sense? In the sense of respecting Allah's will for them to exist and be sustained. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala willed for them. If Allah did not will for them to have that, they wouldn't. The dignity of life, the dignity of human being, the dignity, etc., in that sense. Fine. Then Islam talks about what? Islam talks about now the human family. Well, Quran Kareem says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Or as in this ayah, Al-Quran Kareem immediately doesn't start with this, says, An-nabiyyu awla bil-mu'minin. Khitab to the mu'minin. Now khitab khas. Al-khitab before was am, to everybody, all human beings, everyone. Regardless who you are, Allah, whether you believe in Allah or not, Allah still gives you. Allah grants you. Allah gives you His mercy. Allah shows you His kindness. Allah sustains you. Allah provides for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you all these things. Similarly, even whether to humanity, whether they believe in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as the final of the prophets, and as a prophet and a messenger anyway, or they don't believe, and Nabi Akram sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa azwajihi wa sallam is still unconditional compassion to them. Rahma al-alameen, regardless. Is still a source of compassion, regardless whether you deny or not. The compassion is still coming at you. The compassion is still there for you. Now this is for the الناس. When it comes to الذين آمنوا or المؤمنين, there is a خصوصي, in a sense, خصوصي خطاب or عائلة خاصة or a special family where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says النبي أولى بالمؤمنين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, which means النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, the Prophet, is more worthy or has a higher claim of the believers than themselves. وهذا يستحق الوقف. You have this ayah, we need to stop. What do you mean? What do you mean? When you say النبي أولى بالمؤمنين, the Prophet is closer to the believers than themselves, nearer to the believers than themselves, more worthy of the believers than themselves, has a higher authority of the believers than themselves, has a greater claim of the believers than themselves. All these things, even if you collect them together, what does that mean? Let's start with little at least. The little that we know into how much you talk about yourself. And so we can take practical examples today. Al-Quran wa Sunnah, we leave them. Even Sunnah, we read it as theoretical knowledge. Like the practical aspect is where it's missing. How much every day do you talk about yourself? When you sit with people, would you like to present them your virtues? Every now and then, in a direct way, indirect way. Yeah, but I give, alhamdulillah. When the generosity comes, you talk about your generosity. When bravery comes, all of a sudden you're preparing in your mind a story that proves your bravery. When information, about anything comes, you're already prepared to give. You already have your thing and you want to throw it, your thing also. you have a stake in this, you know what's going on, especially it comes to the deen, obviously, we all know everything. Other things, all these things, immediately you are putting a share for yourself in there. You talk about yourself, you worry about yourself. You try to always protect the honor and the dignity of yourself. And you love yourself, most importantly. Al-Quran Kareem is telling you, النبي أولى بالمؤمنين من أنفسهم. The Prophet ﷺ has a higher claim over the believers than themselves in all these things. Difficult, because it's a practical application. So you see, every day you talk about yourself. Do you talk as much about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You love yourself and you express that love to yourself through many things. Do you express the same love to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? The problem in the ayah here, in a sense, for our application, not that there's a problem in the ayah, that Al-Quran Kareem couples this with al-mu'mineen. Al-Nabiyyu awla bil-mu'mineen. And as if this would elevate the status of Iman wal-iyadu billah in the complete sense from you if you don't. And that's the danger of it. And that's why, look in the other ayah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. قُلْ إِنْ كَانَ آبَاؤُكُمْ وَأَبْنَاؤُكُمْ وَإِخْوَانُكُمْ وَأَزْوَاجُكُمْ وعشيرتكم وأموال اقترفتموها وتجارة تخشون كسادها ومساكن ترضونها أحب إليكم من الله ورسوله وجهاد في سبيله فتربصوا حتى يأتي الله بأمره والله لا يهدي القوم الفاسقين. Notice the end of the ayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows you the manhaj or the methodology of those who He calls fasiqeen. Notice. He called them fasiqeen. What are they, Allah? Allah says, قُلْ إِنْ كَانَ آبَاؤُكُمْ. Say if your fathers, وَأَبْنَاؤُكُمْ and your children, وَإِخْوَانُكُمْ and your brothers, وَأَزْوَاجُكُمْ and your spouses. Notice. وَعَشِيرَتُكُمْ and your tribe. وَأَمْوَالٌ اقْتَرَفْتُمُوهَا and money that you gained. وَتِجَارَةٌ تَخْشَوْنَ كَسَادَهَا and business that you worry about that you would lose in it. وَمَسَاكِنُ تَرْضَوْنَهَا and homes that you build great for yourself. Allah says, أَحَبَّ إِلَيْكُمْ مِنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. They're more beloved to you in your heart than Allah and His Messenger. وَجِهَادٍ فِي سَبِيلِهِ فَتَرَبَّصُوا. Then Allah says, وَاللَّهُ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الْفَاسِقِينَ. Allah will not guide those fasiqeen. This separates, so we don't talk theory today. No, the deen is reduced into theory. So you see how somebody goes 5-6 years, he reads 17 books, and he comes, and he has big name before, big name after, big name in the middle. It's theory. It's theory at best, and even theory is incomplete. Because there's content, and there's context. And then there's application, let alone innovation. Innovation in the sense, not in the sense of bid'ah, and in the sense of execution and understanding. The content is incomplete, let alone the context, let alone the application. What do you mean when you say, when Al-Quran Kareem says, قُلْ إِنْ كَانَ آبَاؤُكُمْ وَأَبْنَاؤُكُمْ? That's what it is. You have to look into yourself. If you want to move from the manhaj, inshallah all of you are moved from the manhaj and the path of the fasiqeen to the manhaj and the path of the mu'mineen, you have to see where your allegiance is in the Quran. قُلْ إِنْ كَانَ آبَاؤُكُمْ وَأَبْنَاؤُكُمْ وَإِخْوَانُكُمْ وَأَزْوَاجُكُمْ وَعَشِيرَتُكُمْ. All these things. Are they more beloved to you than Allah and His Messenger? If they are, then Allah says, وَاللَّهُ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الْفَاسِقِينَ. What it means is, Allah will not guide those who are fasiqeen. Notice, will not guide. What do you mean will not guide? You can work the whole life and you have different things and you're doing things. You think you are on hidayah and you think you're getting close to Allah and you think you are doing ibadah and all these things, and Allah already said, وَاللَّهُ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الْفَاسِقِينَ. Of course. You mean you can pray for 20 years and that salah does not polish your akhlaq? Is that a sign of it? Sure. It means you can give zakah and you can be involved and you go to Hajj million times, not just 50, 60 years. Every year you go to Hajj and Umrah and still does not shape you to be closer to Allah internally and a better human being and a better believer. Of course, that's one of the signs. Wallahu la yahdi al-qawm al-fasiqin. You can go around it as much as you want, but the Quran says clearly, Allah will not guide those who are fasiqin. In that sense, we see Hadith Sayyidina Umar. I know I came late today, I apologize. But let's see حديث البخاري الذي رواه عبد الله بن هشام. قال كنا مع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. شوف حديث البخاري والحديث مشهور، مشهور من ناحية عند العوام من ناحية اصطلاحية. عبد الله بن هشام says we were with Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو آخذ بيد عمر. And he was holding or taking the hands of Umar. فقال يا رسول الله. Look at Sayyidina Umar. Now, you know the personality of Umar already. I don't need to tell you this. Big man, Jabbar في الجاهلية. He was a giant man in Jahiliyyah. People feared him. حتى في Islam people feared him. It's not common to the Arabs to display public affection. You already know this. Arabs don't like to display public affection. Back then, even to their children. You already know Hadith Hassan. When the man saw the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, الأقرع بن حابس الراوي, واحد هذا من الصحابة اللي متأخرين يعني من المؤلفة قلوبهم. He says, Ya Rasul, he saw the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam kissing al-Hasan or al-Hussein in the riwayah. He says, Ya Rasulullah, tuhibbuhu, you love him? He says, Naam, of course. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him, of course I love him. He said, Ya Rasulullah, I have 10 children, I've never kissed any of them. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells him, what do I do if Allah took mercy away from your heart? What do you do? Because it was not acceptable to the Arabs from a cultural point of view to display public affection. You don't display that, you have to look tough. So you appreciate how Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, the transformation happened. Umar radiallahu anhu tells the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah. So Abdullah ibn Hisham says, we were with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَهُوَ آخِذٌ بِيَدِ عُمَرٍ, and he's holding the hand of Umar. That shows you also the personality of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with those companions who gave everything. Who gave everything. He's holding his hand. Come, you're with me. It's a sense of companionship, sense of ownership. This is your da'wah. Not to those who are absent, or MIAs, listening in actions. Umar was present. Umar, Abu Bakr, Uthman, Ali, those people gave everything. Al-Ghali wal-Rakhis wal-Nafs wal-Nafis. They did not hold back anything from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They gave their nafs and they gave whatever that is dear and close to them. They did not lend their ears to shayateen. They sold their heart for the sake of Allah. Big difference. Big difference. You are a holder of whatever you allow your ear to be filled with. Good, you're filling your ear with good. Yani consider yourself as a tank. Whatever you fill and you see and what you hear, they're all going into that self of yours, and eventually, whether you realize or not, will contribute to what you generate. القرآن says that anyway, some other time we talk about this psychological aspect. لكن Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is holding his hand. Sayyidina Umar says, Ya Rasulullah, لأنت أحب إلي من كل شيء إلا من نفسي. Ya Rasulullah, you are more beloved to me than every and anything except myself. We're coming from Umar radiallahu anhu, in this circumstance, there are people there. Lakin Sayyidina Umar, that love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam moves him, tells him, Ya Rasulullah, لأنت أحب إلي, you are more beloved to me than everything. Where Umar radiallahu anhu is telling him this Obviously, Umar knows. إِن كَانَ آبَاؤُكُمْ وَأَبْنَاؤُكُمْ. He knows. It's not a theoretical thing to Umar. And today, we treat Islam like a sick person. Not in the sense that we're sick, astaghfirullah. MashaAllah, all of you are healthy, Allah grant you health forever. What do I mean by a sick person? A sick person, intellectually speaking, mind, rationally speaking, looks at the medicine, he hates medicine. Does anyone like medicine here? Does anyone? Nobody likes medicine. Would you like to take medicine? Lakin, because the sick person knows that they have a disease, they love taking medicine. Not because they like medicine, but because they like what this medicine what is perceived to give them as benefits. Unfortunately, many people today, they look at Islam and the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, especially the love, talking here about it, in this aspect. They're not healthy. Healthy means you are in love with Allah and His Messenger. But because there's no health there, they look at it from an intellectual, rational point of view. So rationally, he goes and says, I love Allah and His Prophet more than everything, of course. But practically, in reality, he doesn't show for it. Notice, the state of, obviously, it's a spiritual, pathological condition in a sense. Spiritual disease, if we were to say anything. Allah says that. There's no doubt about that. And if we don't move from state of disease or dis-ease to state of health, there's no movement. There is no change, because Allah already told us, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah will not change the state of people until they change their own state. Umar radiallahu anhu tells him, Ya Rasulullah, لَأَنْتَ أَحَبُّ إِلَيَّ مِن نَفْسِي. You are more beloved to me than, we are more beloved to me than everything except myself. Everything, what does Umar mean? Look what the ayah started. قُلْ إِنْ كَانَ آبَاؤُكُمْ, your parents, وَأَبْنَاؤُكُمْ, وَإِخْوَانُكُمْ, وَأَزْوَاجُكُمْ, your parents, your children, your brothers, your spouses, your tribe, your money, your homes, your all these things. Umar radiallahu anhu said, I am in consistency with this ayah in a sense. He didn't say that. Like, he's consistent in a sense, I love you more than all these things, Ya Rasulullah. The only thing I don't love you is over myself. والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم answers him, hadith still في البخاري, قال كلا والذي نفسي بيده حتى أكون أحب إليك من نفسك. He told him, Ya Umar, by Allah, whose myself is with him, until I am more beloved to you than yourself. Umar answers, قال عمر قال فإنه والله. Umar now swears. He says, فإنه والله. هذا لفظ البخاري, ها? قال فإنه والله. He says, Ya Rasulullah, by Allah, لأنت أحب إلي من نفسي. You are more beloved to me than myself. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells him, Al-ana ya Umar. Now, oh Umar. Yani now, you've said the right thing. Now, many people, they misinterpret this hadith. Or in a sense, they interpret it with lack of adab. Ma Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu. Today, when Maulana ilm becomes reading, Maulana Google is the reference. 4, 5, 6 years of studying here and there, and I love this thing. When they call me, I get calls. Yesterday I got a call. So and so wants to teach. Yes, okay. What's the qualification? I said. He says, well, he's been to this country in the Middle East. I'm not going to mention names. Well, he's been to this country. Ajib. Well, he's been to that country. So I'm not impressed so far because we've been to many countries. What does that mean? So the mere notion of I hear Yemen, I hear Syria, I hear Egypt, what is that supposed to do? Give you some kind of an aura of knowledge and reverence? I was born and raised in Syria, Maulana. I'm not impressed. Tell me what you know. Tell me, what do you know best? What is your expertise? Not what you have read once or twice or 5 times. What are you expert in? What is your area of authority and authorship and expertise? Don't tell me I read a book 5, 6 times. Reading the book 5, 6 times doesn't make you a scholar. Doesn't even make you a teacher. But anyway, today, what do you have? خير. They say what Umar radiallahu anhu, many people, حتى الإمام الطيبي other of the A'immah radiallahu anhu, and the hadith, they say that there's lack of adab when some people who just say about Umar, what do they say? They say that Umar radiallahu anhu did not love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam more than himself, and therefore he said the truth in the sense. And then when the Prophet ﷺ told him, no, until you love me more than you love yourself, then Umar said, then I need to love you more than I love myself, and I love you more than I love myself. Done in the story. But this is intellectual rationalization. That means love is not really what it came to the heart of Umar per se. At least there's no dalil for that. It means that Umar thought about it logically, said if the Prophet ﷺ tells me I'm not going to be a total believer until I love him more than I love myself, then I'm a lover. Of course I love you more than I love myself. That's not how it is. Why? Because it's a condition of your belief, even at a mere intellectual and rational level, to love Rasulullah ﷺ more than you love yourself. You would not be a mu'min if you don't love him, and Umar knows this already. Now, Hadith al-Bukhari, عن أنس قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى أكون أحب إليه من ولده ووالده في رواية ونفسه والناس أجمعين. You would not be a believer until you love me more than you love yourself. This is known to Umar. Umar was not new to the idea that rationally you need to love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam more than you love yourself. This is given. This is a basic, any basic Muslim knows and believes in this, not just Umar. What are you doing? There is a different issue here then, now, and that different issue is that what we're talking about, obviously, the love is of 2 kinds. Let me finish with this, so we can let you go also early. I don't want to take you more, because I know you have your jobs. Al-Hub, or the love, is of 2 kinds. Instinctive love and love of choice. What does that mean? When you're born, there's an instinct, or there are instincts that are born within you, such as the love of self-preservation, of survival. Survival, that is instinctive within you. You are built like this. You are created like this. Every living entity you see, they have, every living being, regardless what they are, they have that instinct to love themselves and preserve themselves, regardless what happens. That instinct of survival within you, that you have no choice over, because Allah gave you this in a sense when you were being created. But you have no control over this. وهذا حديث النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. السيدة عائشة رضي الله عنها said, used to say, كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقسم بين نسائه فيعدل. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to distribute between his honorable wives, and he would do just. Then after he would do just, he would say this. قال الله كفى ويقول, Sayyidina Aisha رضي الله عنها saying, and he used to say, اللهم هذه قسمتي فيما أملك. Oh Allah, this is my qisma, this is my division in what I can and own. فَلَا تُؤَاخِذْنِي فِي مَا تَمْلِكْ وَلَا أَمْلِكْ. Oh Allah, don't hold me for that which is beyond my control. I have done the best I can. So there are things that are instant. So Allah says it, the love of the heart, for example, here. Yani Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying, Ya Allah, don't hold me for the leaning of the heart, because the heart is with you, Ya Allah, not with me. But what I can do, I will do exactly just. Similarly, you have instincts that are built within you. In these instincts, you don't have a choice. When it comes to anyone, it's your survival. It doesn't matter anyone. We can go up the ladder all the way, it will only remain you. And you are created to have that instinct of the love of yourself. Umar radiallahu anhu, now there's another love, the love of choice, which you all know. You grow, you learn to love something. You learn to be so passionate about it and love it so much. So you have two lines of love. A love that's instinctive and a love that is by choice, that you were passionate about. Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, when he told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was telling him about the love of instinct that he has. Yani even instinctively, Ya Rasulullah, I love you more than anything else, but myself, I have no control to make myself love myself less than you. Because instinctively, I am designed like this. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells him, لا حتى أكون أحب إليك من نفسك. No, until I am more beloved to you than yourself. What does that mean? Yani he's telling him, Ya Umar, say the truth about yourself. Is the love of instinct more prioritized in yourself than the love of choice? Because the love of instinct is self-preservation, right? Amongst them. But Umar was willing to give his life away for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam anytime. Love of instinct is keeping your money to yourself. But Umar radiallahu anhu was willing to share all his money with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam at any given moment. So when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was guiding Umar radiallahu anhu to say the right thing, what you're saying, I never asked you to say about your instinctive love. I am telling you about one love because love is only one. Which love is more prioritized in you? The love of your instincts, the instinctive love, or the love by choice which you love me through? He tells him, Ya Rasulullah, no, لَأَنْتَ أَحَبُّ إِلَيَّ مِنْ نَفْسِي. Your love and the love of choice is higher than the love of instinct to Umar. That's when the Prophet ﷺ told him, Al-ana ya Umar. Now, O Umar, you've said the truth. What does that tell you? Very simple. Remember, let me finish with this hadith. Hadith Anas al-Bukhari. Muslim hadith is known. أخرجه البخاري ومسلم رحمهم الله في صحيحيهما. When the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, ذاق طعم الإيمان, you would taste أو وجد أو ثلاث من كل فيه. لفظ الحديث في البخاري. Three things, if you have them, you will taste the sweetness of Iman. ثلاث من كن فيه وجد حلاوة الإيمان. Three things, if you have them, you will taste the sweetness of Iman. Have you tasted the sweetness of Iman? Let's see what they are. Number one, أن يكون الله ورسوله أحب إليه مما سواهما. That Allah and His Messenger are more beloved to Him than anything else. Number two, أن يحب المرء لا يحبه إلا لله. That you love only for the sake of Allah. You love each other for the sake of Allah. Number three, that you hate to go back to kufr. For those who are in kufr. Alright? Here's the question. If you are given a choice, like Umar, the love of instincts and love what you like and love of choice, what would you prioritize? That tells you if you are in that iman that's kamil. Let me finish with this hadith في صحيح Muslim. You already know the hadith. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, which is the standard. Why am I saying this? Because this is the standard of the iman in the sense of complete iman. What does he say? إِنَّ مِنْ أَشَدِّ أُمَّتِي لِي حُبًّا. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is telling us, some of my ummah who love me dearly, look, he's telling the Sahaba, what are they? يَوَدُّ أَحَدُهُمْ لَوْ رَآنِي بِمَالِهِ وَأَهْلِهِ. One of them would wish that he can just see me for a little bit, even if he lost all his family and all his money. Hadith Sahih Muslim. Question, so we don't talk theory. You answer yourself. He says, يَوَدُّ أَحَدُهُمْ لَوْ رَآنِي. One of them would love to see me. The mere sight of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Would you in your heart and in your own iman, you and Allah, would you wish that you see the Prophet ﷺ even in a dream? Mere sight, you see him. Even if you lose all your accomplishment in money and family and everything, or you would not. Status of love. You check yourself. If we don't reconcile, talk doesn't do it. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا كما امر. اشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له عظاما لمن جحد به وكفر. اشهد ان سيدنا محمدا صلى الله عليه واله وسلم الشفيع المشفع في المحشر. صلى اللهم عليه وعلى اله الفقه والنظر والعلم والاثر وعلى من باثاره مقتفى واهتدى واعتبر. عباد الله اتقوا الله العظيم حق تقواه. راقبوه مراقبه من يعلم ويعتقد بانه يراه.
تزودوا من دنياكم لآخرتكم عملا يحبه ويرضاه. اعلموا أنه لا يضر وينفع ويعطي ويمنع، يخفض ويرفع ويصل ويقطع إلا الله. اعلموا أن الله تعالى أمركم بأمر بدأ فيه بنفسه وثنى بملائكة قدسه. قال تعالى: ولم يزل قائلا عليما: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم. بارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين، أعلي مولانا كلمة الحق والدين. اللهم من أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين خيرا فوفقه إليه، من أراد بهم غير ذلك فاهده يا ربنا سواء السبيل. اللهم آت أنفسنا تقواها، زكها أنت خير من زكاها، أنت وليها ومولاها. اشف اللهم مرضانا، عاف مبتلانا، فك أسرانا، ارحم موتانا، اغفر اللهم لنا ولآبائنا وأمهاتنا ومشايخنا ولمن له حق علينا ولمن على الخير أعاننا وعن الشر أبعدنا، ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات، إنك يا ربنا سميع قريب مجيب للدعوات. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله. أقم الصلاة.